We all know how significant of a role our mindset has to play in how our entire life, actually, our entire life plays out. But it is so easy to also slip into that autopilot mind. We think that this is how the rest of our life is going to play out. This is how it's always going to be. But you're going to change that in this video. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Priyanka and I'm here to help you navigate through life with a leap of faith and positivity. On this channel we talk about anything that makes this human experience a little more soothing, a little more smoother of an experience. Now, in this video, I want to give you these reminders. Few of them are the reminders and few of them are the things that you can easily do to change to shift your mindset for the better. Like, it's so easy to slip into that autopilot mind and think that things are never going to go your way and you're gonna always live this life. So how do we work with our minds to keep our awareness of the life that we desire? How do we constantly keep our eyes on the prize? This is what I want to talk about today. In this video, I want to give you these reminders for you to keep coming back to and see them for what they actually are, so that you can bring the power back to yourself rather than giving the power to your autopilot mind. Most of the times we think that negative thinking is only when we think that we are not going to get that opportunity, or that somebody's going to turn us down, or that we're going to get unlucky. Like, all of these thoughts that we think are the negative thoughts. But even when you find yourself comparing yourself to someone else, comparing yourself with someone else is also negative thinking. These mindset shifts will help you disassociate and slowly and gradually help you dissolve your negative thoughts over time. They're not just going to help you in one area of your life, but all areas of your life, because once you start working on one area of your life, your self-concept naturally improves, and so the other areas of your life also improve. The first shift is that the negative thoughts that you're having, they're just a set of thoughts. That is all that they are. When you go on social media and you look at these women, you're thinking to yourself, look at her, she's so young and she's already so successful. When is it going to be my time? Just a thought. It's just a thought. That's, like I said, this is just a thought. And you're comparing yourself with this other girl, which, like I said, is also a form of negative thinking. You see a happy couple in a happy relationship and you think to yourself, I could never pull up a guy like this or a girl like this. That is also negative thinking. Okay? So start by reminding yourself that whatever negative thinking, whenever you feel guilty, it could be in any area of your life that you currently think that you struggle with. That's all that it is. It's just a set of thoughts. Like, when you so I want you to get it in your freaking head. And even when you think that other people are in charge, other people, like, if you have a job interview coming up, or even when you're not even getting one interview, that is because you have been thinking that I don't have enough experience in my life, and that's why I'm not going to get the job. You are already assuming that you're not going to get the job because you don't have enough experience. Again, just a set of thoughts. So I want to remind you of this, that whatever area of your life it is, that you're struggling with, and it doesn't look the way that you would want it to look, it's because it's only a manifestation of your current thoughts. And whatever you're thinking right now, they're just a set of thoughts. That is it. Start reminding yourself that any area of your life that you struggle with negative thinking, that comparison, it's just an illusion. That comparison, guess what? It's just an illusion. That insecurity that you feel is also just an illusion. Number two is that your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's only an imagination. Now, to tie this back into my previous point, that when you start telling yourself that you're the most successful person, you're the most successful person walking on this planet, or you're the most successful person that you have ever been, and that you're living the life you see these women living on Instagram, then in that moment, that statement is true for your subconscious mind. Even when in your 3D, it's not a reality, but your subconscious mind doesn't really have a filter, you know. So when you tell yourself, even when you don't have that life, you don't have like 10K subscribers on Instagram right now, but when you start telling yourself that I'm just as successful as these women, that success will come to you in one way or the other. I wanted to tie these back together to really help you. I'm pretty sure you have heard this advice like in a scattered form. Your thoughts are just the thoughts, and your subconscious mind does not really know the difference between the two. But I wanted to tie them together to help you see what, when you see these two concepts merged together, it will make more sense to you. And maybe it will even inspire you to start thinking different thoughts, because it just makes more sense to you. You know, it gives you that aha moment that, oh, I start changing my thoughts and my perceptions and my beliefs about my current situation, which is honestly not that hard. Which is people like make you think that, you know, it has to be a thousand rules, and it requires changing your thoughts 1,000 times in a day, and you try it for a few days and then you give up. It's really not that hard. So yeah, anyway, I wanted to give you that side note. Now on to the third point. Okay, the third point is to do SATS. Now, the term was coined by Neville Goddard, which is states akin to sleep. This is a state that you naturally go into right before you fall asleep. Okay, when you're in your bed and you get into a different state, right before you're falling asleep, you have to get into a different state in order to fall asleep. And that state that you have to get in order to fall asleep is exactly the state that entails as the state akin to sleep. That is the state that is very beneficial when it comes to reprogramming your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, whatever you tell your subconscious mind, whatever you repeat to yourself, your conscious mind is not really fighting it, because it kind of goes to sleep. So what happens is that in this state your brain waves slow down. So when your brain waves slow down, your conscious mind is not really fighting it. When our brain waves are a bit like higher, a bit faster, that is when your conscious mind is very, very active, right? And that is also the state where it doesn't always feel safe. So when you're in that state, in the state that you're right about to fall asleep, that is the state when your conscious mind has gone to sleep and your subconscious mind is wide open. Your conscious, whatever you are telling yourself, your conscious mind is not really there to like protect you or to keep you safe. And that is exactly why you need to take advantage of this state, right? Because when we fall asleep, we are thinking thoughts anyway. Our brain randomly places these thoughts in our heads before we fall asleep. And these thoughts, most of the times, are the same thoughts that we have already thought throughout the day. And when these thoughts go unfiltered, they decide our personality and our life from the day that just passed, that just went by. And then the next day, and in turn, it determines our entire lives. But when we think thoughts that we will like to run by, for example, thinking that I am the most confident person, I'm always the most confident person in every room, or that I always get straight A's, that I am so amazing at math that I can pass any exam, that I can do whatever I want, that I can be the best YouTuber, that I can be the best dancer in the world. It could even be something that you are struggling to manifest or believe in. Maybe sometimes people have a hard time thinking and believing that they can manifest for other people. So it could be one of those affirmations too. So, when you think thoughts that you would like to imprint onto your subconscious mind, when you think thoughts that you would like your life to play out, or you would want that to be your personality before you go to sleep, we are imprinting that reality to our subconscious minds. So the idea is to pick an affirmation and repeat it over and over again until you fall asleep. That's, I believe, is the coolest way to literally change your mindset, and it is one of the coolest and the fastest ways to reprogram your mind and to shift your mindset for the better. Okay, I really think that sets should be a lifestyle, that you should always have something to repeat right before you fall asleep. You can like even think of an affirmation right before you fall asleep, that this is what I'm going to be affirming for tonight. I honestly think that it should be a lifetime, and you should keep affirming until the last day of your life. Practicing sets should be a lifestyle. Number 4 is that we are all telepathic in nature. We are constantly interacting with people through our perception of them and the version of the person that we choose to focus on. The version of the person that we choose to focus on is exactly what we'll get more of. So, if you hear someone say certain words in your mind even before it happens, then they're gonna say the same thing in one way or the other. You're working a job, and then you keep thinking that they're gonna fire me because have messed up so much. I think I kind of manifested getting fired from my previous job. I think I was still new to the company, and I was making a lot of mistakes. So I was like, okay, they're gonna fire me. I keep messing up, and because everyone was like so mean at that job, they would like, it was very very stressful, right? So I was like, they're not gonna cut any slack, they're not gonna forgive me. And so that's why I manifested. So when you hear someone say certain words in your mind even before it happens, that is exactly what they're going to say to you in your reality. So if you're stuck focusing on one version of someone who keeps rejecting you, who's being distant or is not choosing you, you will keep reinforcing that experience. You will keep getting that experience into your life. And that's not because they are that way. It's because your attention is hyper focused on that version of that person. You might even say, I said this in my previous video, that you might even say that these versions are the astrological versions of these people. But I want you to get it into your freaking minds that you're receiving a no or a rejection only because you have created that version of that person in your mind up here. You're, you're constantly creating how people react to you, how do they respond to you. You have an interview coming up and you're constantly thinking about what you do not like about yourself. It is okay to be nervous for a job interview, but if you are still focused on what you don't like about yourself, then the other person is going to see that. And then that person is going to respond to to those affirmations in your head that you have on repeat. That I don't like this about myself, I don't like that about myself. You might even be qualified for the job, but if you like keep thinking about what you do not like about yourself, and the other person is going to see it, and then they're going to respond to it because you just created them perceiving you like that. There's also a version of the interviewer who sees how passionate, how energetic, how enthusiastic, how qualified, how calm, how confident you are, because you created you created for them to focus on that version and on those traits about you. So when you start thinking and affirming the energy of the only good in you, then you're going to sense it, because we're all telepathic in nature. People can feel your energy. I cannot say this enough. Start speaking to yourself. Start affirming in your mind as if you're the best thing that could happen to this job. We are all telepathically connected. We are all telepathic in nature. And when we speak to higher versions of other people, they're catching those signals. They're responding to that energy that we keep affirming in our head. They're responding to those thoughts, not even the energy, but they're responding to those thoughts, because we are all one. There's no separation. We are all one. There's no real separate. There's really no separation. Separation is an illusion. Separation is really just an illusion. That's all that it is. I hope that this video was able to give you that light bulb moment and be like, oh, this is really how reality works. So maybe it's not as hard to work with as I think it is, and you can always come back to this video and see that your life is just a manifestation of your thoughts, and that's all that it really is, and all your negative thoughts are just thoughts. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful for you, and thank you so much for watching. And oh, I almost forgot, but please like this comment. What am I saying? But please like this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and also share this video. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.